Well, hey there. Good morning, BrickHeadz. Happy Monday to you. Hope your September is going great. Hope your weekend was great. I know mine was very action-packed as always, but it is Monday, so it is time to talk your ear off about some Lego news and rumors. So, hey, here we go. Before I get into it, I do always just want to say thank you. You know, whether you are tuning in on your favorite podcast platform, or maybe you're a visual person and you just like checking it out on the YouTube, no matter how you get this episode, I really appreciate you. I want to give a special shout out to the residents of California this week. I will tell you, I don't know, maybe mentioning other states like got them all worked up, but there are definitely a bunch of people tuning in from California right now that are kind of listening on the podcast platform for sure. So just, thank you to you, and just thank you to everybody. We have listeners from around the world, and it's cool. I greatly appreciate it. I love it. So like I said, here we go. It is news and rumors time. And this week was official images week. That's just what we'll call it, because Lego dropped a bunch of official images, and obviously the elephant in the room, and what you probably, if you're tuning on YouTube anyway, the thing you're clicking on is clearly, we got to talk about the Death Star. I've been kind of honestly putting it off. I haven't wanted to talk about it much until we had all of the official images, but now we do. Here are all the official images. I'm going to throw them up there. I don't know in what order, but I'm just going to talk about it. And here's the deal. I'm not going to spend too much on it. I'm going to try. But I'm going to talk to you about what I like, what I don't like, and what is just plain awful. Okay? So I'm going to try and be fair over the whole thing. And here's how I feel about the Death Star in general. Obviously, I'm not a huge fan of the design, but let's keep an open mind about this for a bit. Looking at the pictures, I can see where people would like this design, in that I've got the old 10188 next to me, and it's the old Playscale Death Star. And one thing, if people say they don't like about this set, the globe set, is that, well, you can't see everything at once. If you want to display it, you can only display parts of it. And that is true. Like when I display it, I tend to display it with the death ray angled out, and which means then all the stuff that happens in the back, well, it never really gets seen. And so I think that is a valid complaint. And the designers of the Death Star, I think they heard that and they wanted to go for something new, fresh and new, and give you something where you could literally see all of the Death Star scenes at once. And I have honestly really no problem with that. The more and more I look at that, I like aspects of this concept. Here's the problem, okay? The problem is they set the bar too high, honestly. And this is Lego's fault. This is not our fault as the user and what we expect. Lego did it to themselves when they decided they were going to charge $1,000 for this set. And in the other parties, you're like, well, Steve, it's a 9,023 piece set. That's 11.1 cents per piece. So yeah, it really, in terms of IP, this is $1,000 set. Okay, but here's the thing. If you are going to make $1,000 set, if you're going to make this the set, the first ever in history, right? Everything has to hit on all cylinders. And I think that is the thing that is really getting to me with this set, is that there are parts of this set that are pretty incredible, honestly. Parts of the set I really love. Yes, I love the Stormtrooper in the hot tub. It's fun. It's quirky. Yeah, I think the Imperial shuttle looks cool. The whole scene in the throne room, we get throne room scenes, but that looks good. As far as the build goes, watching land members build it on their own little YouTube pages, it looks like an interesting build. But it goes back to the question of, is it worth $1,000? Because here's the deal. We got 38 minifigs with this. And on the surface, you're like, 38 minifigs, that's an absurd number. And it is. You're absolutely right. But when you actually look at these minifigs, they're not really that special. Like, they're not dope minifigs. And again, this is where the issue comes in. We're paying $1,000 for this. Just don't forget that. Is it worth $1,000? I don't think any of these minifigs have any dual mold printed Lego leg parts to them. They're all just very straightforward and simple minifigs. Not a lot of exclusivity there. And so minifigs are always a huge driver of the set. And if you're going to do a Star Wars set, you better believe Star Wars fans are going to be clamoring for those minifigs. And it just seems lazy, honestly, because C-3PO, for example, we have the dual molded Lego, it's leg printing for C-3PO. It's already there. Like, Lego didn't have to do anything new. They didn't have to do any new printings. They just literally had to include that with C-3PO, but they didn't. They just did pretty much standard legs for everybody. And you're like, Steve, well, that's pretty nitpicky. Well, you're darn right it's nitpicky, because I'm shelling out $1,000 for this. And then beyond that, there's 68 stickers. 68. Guys, that's like Harry Potter territory. 68 stickers is a lot. And yes, granted, I know we can't have printed pieces for everything, but there should be definitely a higher number of printed pieces and a lower sticker count, again, for a $1,000 set. But moving on from there, the thing that I think really frustrates me is, can we talk about the gift with purchase real quick? The gift with purchase is a TIE fighter with an Imperial hanging rack. Now, that's cool. Like, the GWP is a cool GWP. It's 236 pieces. It includes 3 minifigs, and it's neat. And Lego's like, yeah, let's do this, or they can actually attach it to the Death Star itself, which that concept is also pretty cool. But here's the thing, and I hope this makes you as grumpy as it makes me. That should have already been included with the Death Star. That it already should have been included with the Death Star. If you don't buy the Death Star immediately, and it comes out to insiders on the 1st and to everybody on the 4th of October, you are going to have, by your Imperial shuttle in the hangar bay, you're going to have this giant blank space. So if you don't buy it right away, you get this giant blank space. Let's say you buy it a year from now. Well, now you need to go find that GWP on the aftermarket if you truly want your Death Star to look like a finished build. And Lord knows, this GWP, since it's price locked behind the Death Star, is going to be astronomical. So you got to ask yourself, are you going to pay another $50, another $60 just to have a TIE fighter hangar? You could build it yourself for sure. But I just think that's frustrating that Lego went, you know what we should do? We should essentially force their hand, force them, if they want a truly complete looking Death Star, they got to buy it day one. That is just bad. I mean, explain to me, if you disagree with me, leave a comment down below. I would love to hear your reasoning behind it. But how is this not the opportunity to do a truly unique, dope gift with purchase? Like a big lightsaber, something that we have not seen before. How amazing were people like Luke Skywalker's lightsaber or Yoda's lightsaber? Those things, those are primo gift with purchases. And that is the type of gift with purchase Lego fans deserved if they are willing to go out to the Lego store and buy this set day one. Not a set that you essentially you need just as an additional add-on to the set that you're already paying so much money for. That's just bad. And then the other part, we have to talk about the back of this. And yes, you can be like, Steve, no one looks at the back of a set. And that's true. I will totally own to the fact that people who are displaying this set are going to have it displayed pretty much 99% of the time front ways out. But it's not like they intentionally forgot about the back. There are Easter eggs on the back. You can actually see some of the gears working with the elevator on the back, and that's cool. I really like that. But the majority of the back just looks haphazard, and I hate it when they do that. They do this sometimes with modular buildings or with some of the Marvel building sets where they focus so much on the facade that they forget there's more than just the front of the building. Like you look at Bag End, like the back end of it just kind of looks terrible. And this, again, am I willing to pay $1,000 for something that it just feels like they didn't spend enough time on it? They didn't look at every aspect, and they had to lead with, y'all, we're going to make something like never before, and we're going to charge $1,000 for it. At the moment they said that, they needed to fine-tooth comb everything. And I think that's the part that frustrates me, is Lego is not fine-tooth combing it. Their designers, to me, this is a little sloppy. Some of these rooms are outstanding. Some of the rooms are kind of empty. Let's be real. There's a lot of empty space in this set. And the aspect of you kind of need lighting to come in straight on for this Death Star, because much like this one, there's a lot of dark areas. The deeper you go into the set, it's hard to see what is being actually shown. And so that's one thing I think they should have definitely considered. So I don't know. I'm not going to go buy it. I don't know if I'll ever own this set. It doesn't speak to me, obviously. If you like the design, I think that's great. And I think Lego was onto something with that display. But again, it goes back to the fact of what people really wanted, myself included, was this, but also a way to enclose it, to make it look like you could display it as a big old Death Star. And I think users would have been happy with less rooms if they could have gotten that aspect where they could have actually enclosed the Death Star, something where it opens up on hinges or things like that. It's frustrating. And to me, again, it screams, I'm a $650 set. You can't balk at the piece count. It's huge. It's gigantic. It is literally the saucer. I'm going to put up pictures where it is compared to the other Death Star. These picture credits go straight to Jay's Brick blog. If you want to read their review on it, go check it out. I think it's really good. But these are from Jay's Brick blog. But they do a good job of comparing the new Death Star to the one I have by me. And it's gigantic. I don't want to take anything away from that. And the fact that I think it is priced somewhat appropriately based on the piece count. It's just how they used these pieces. I just think some of it was so many wasted opportunities. And that gift with purchase, guys, it's got to make you frustrated. Does that not make you mad? Like, how dare you, Lego, give me a gift with purchase that I pretty much have to have if I want a complete Death Star. And if not, you and I both know on the aftermarket, that is probably end up going to go in for at least $50 to $100. So now you're talking about $1,100 Death Star, which is just absurd. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about it. I am done talking about the Death Star. Like it or hate it, it comes to us October 1st. October 4th for everybody, the 1st for insiders, and it probably will look impressive at first glance. Just don't look too hard at it, is what I'm going to say about that. All right, but hey, moving on, because we got a whole lot of other crazy stuff to talk about. Yes, that was the elephant in the room, but Lego released images for a lot of other cool sets lately, and can I tell you, I'm actually more excited about a $60 set, and that is the new Lego Ideas set, the 70th Lego Ideas set. That's set 21362, the Minerals Collection. At 880 pieces, $60. This is also coming out on October 1st. This is cool. I really like it. You know, it just proves to me that Lego, you don't have to build a huge monstrosity for it to get the headlines. I just think it's really nice. The designer did a lovely job, and I think Lego did a good job here in sprucing it up, because Lego usually does that. But it includes golden pyrite. I love that they put golden pyrite. Technically, pyrite can be different colors, but does anybody care about pyrite that's not the actual fool's gold pyrite? Purple amethyst, because amethyst is purple. Blue fluorite, watermelon tourmaline, which is fun, reddish pink rhodochrosite, and then tangerine quartz, your orange quartz. And it comes on its own little tri-stand, and it is 7 inches high by 11 inches wide and about 3 inches deep. So again, 18 centimeters high, 28 centimeters wide, and 7 centimeters deep for the audience listening overseas. Sorry, bigger than a banana, right? But it's just, like I say, I think this is a cool looking set. I think it's a definite win. I love that they priced it at $60. I think it's a very appropriate price point to be under 10 cents per piece for something that is so unique, but also non-IP, so they can make those cheaper. But you may not like it. You may not be a rock person. I am. I actually have my rock collection, right? And so as a rock hound, as a collector, I'm just like, this is cute. It's definitely going to be something that I buy. I have so much in the backlog right now. I don't know if I'm going to buy it like day one, but it's definitely something that's going to end up in the collection. I just think it's great. And then a couple other just official images that came out. These are a little bit older, but don't forget the Star Wars Gingerbread AT-AT. If you've not seen this, set 4806, I'm going to put up an image of it. It's cute. It's your, Star Wars AT-AT, but it is done up in the brown gingerbread with all of the frosting around it. It's just, I like it, and it's just $60, also coming out on the 1st, and I love that it comes with a Gingerbread Darth Vader minifig. Like, that's great, right? So if you like Christmas, you like Star Wars, this is a great little addition that I think you should definitely add to your collection for sure. But beyond that, speaking of Christmas, we got official images of the upscaled Santa. Again, huge fan of this one. This is a 761 piece set. It is only $55 and also comes out October 1st. I am a fan of the upscaled minifigs. I just think they look cool. I like the regular minifig. Don't own the Octan one, but just to have Santa, I think was a very much a logical choice and something that I'll definitely have on display with all the Winter Village stuff. Like, he can be like the Godzilla, but it just makes for a good display piece. I like his beard and how they made it look very much like the little minifig version of that you would pop on underneath the head. I just think it's good. What also gets me excited is, we hear more confirmation rumors that the next one after Santa will be the upscaled blue astronaut. So I'm liking that Lego is continuing with this trend. And then finally, just one other official release, because I love my BrickHeadz. One more BrickHead Fortnite set. That is set 4884 Raven and Drift, which is a 280 piece set, also coming out on the 1st, and is at your typical $20 price point for a 2-pack. So I really like. I'm not a Fortnite guy, but I really liked Peely Bones and Cuddle Team Leader. I thought those were both really well done in the BrickHeadz format, and I think these are going to be good-looking BrickHeadz too. So although I'm not a Fortnite fan, I am a completionist with BrickHeadz, so I will definitely be picking those up. All right, so those were all the official images, but can we talk about some announcements? Because that's what I really want to spend the rest of this episode on, and we've got some big ones, and it's all about the Bricklink Designer Program and Lego Ideas, which is, to me, the two best things that Lego continually has going. First, let's go to Lego Ideas, and I want to talk about the Build Your Hobby GWP winner. I actually went over these in a previous episode. I don't know if it was last week or the week before. I can leave a link in below. But the one that won, it was my favorite set. I love it when that happens, right? It was the Build, Paint, and Play set by Doomslicer. This is one of those, like, if you play D&D or like Warhammer, things like that, and you have to, you have the little plastic men that come in the plasticky thing when you open it up, and you got to take them out and you got to build them and paint them and do all those things so you can have your finished character that you can play your Warhammer with, right? Well, this is the interpretation of that done in Lego, and it looks so good. Like, it captures perfectly the plastic part that would come straight out of the box where you actually have to clip your little mini figure out of. I just think that was really clever. The paints that they're using down to the paintbrush and the mat that they're working on, I just think all look really great. So I'm excited to see what they attach this gift with purchase with, because I love it. I think it looks really good. So congratulations to Doomslicer for sure. And like I say, I was like, man, the one I picked, it won. Cool. All right. And then staying on Lego ideas real quick, y'all, I don't know if you looked in the news lately. Hopefully you're just watching this to get your news, right? But the second review session for 2025 has come to a close, and there are a whopping 146 sets. It is far and away the most sets ever in a review session, which goes to show you how much more popular Lego Ideas is. And it does make you wonder if they're going to up the 10K vote or if they're just going to keep it like this. But 146. Now, obviously, I don't have time to cover all 146 in this episode, but I will tell you, I will probably put out a special episode this week that is literally just talking about and giving first reactions on all 146 designs. So if you're interested in that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and keep tuning in, because this week we are definitely going to be talking more Lego ideas, just probably not on a podcast. We might just, like I say, do like a bonus episode, if you will. And if that's not all, there's still the 57 sets from the last review session. Those results for the first review session, the 57 sets, should be coming out here, I want to say, within the next month. So it's fall of 2025. We will see. But like I said, a lot of great Lego idea sets that have been submitted. Some that will probably, you just know, looking at it, will never see the light of day. But some that really, really, I think, have a good chance. Who knows who's going to be that next Godzilla set, right? But 146, that is just absurd. Of the 146, I will tell you, for that review session, that comes in spring of 2026. So we are only getting results for the first review session before the end of the year. All right, well, that was Lego Ideas. But hey, let's end with something strong. My favorite thing, and that is the Bricklink Designer Program. We now have official images of the finished, completed designs for Series 6. And I really like there's minor modifications to most of these sets, and I think they did a really good job at the finished look for all these. I'm going to preface with, do I think this will be as popular as Series 5? No, probably not, but Series 5 so far has been the most hyped series there is. But let's go through it one by one, because like I say, I think these are all very solid, very much worth your time. And I want to start off with the smallest set, and that's Off-Road Adventures by King Creations. King Creations should sound familiar to you. He has multiple sets that have been picked in the Bricklink Designer Program, but Off-Road Adventure is a 978-piece set. It's going to have 3 minifigs, and it's going to retail for pre-order for $80. And I think this is a fun set. Just, your typical Jeep out in the forest camping adventure, right? It looks good from all angles. I like that he included your little, like, underground, like, squirrel habitat or whatever that is. I just think that looks really cool. And for $80, 978 pieces, very affordable build for sure. The most affordable in these 5 sets. Moving up to the medium sets, because that's what they tend to do, is they tend to do 1 small, 2 medium, 2 big. And of the medium sets, let's start off with the Art Factory by BrickHeadz. This is a 2,566 piece set. It's going to have 10 minifigs, which is great, and it retails for $230. The Art Factory, you modular people out there are probably looking at that going, wow, that's pretty cool, because not only does the Art Factory open up so you can display it as a super wide facade build, but you can actually also close it up so it looks like a finished building, which could be very easily incorporated in and amongst your modular collection or in your Lego city. And it's one of those things where I'm like, I hope Lego's paying attention to that, because that's how a modular building should be. Very easily accessible to the inside, as well as you get a nice finished building that you can display either way, because some people like the big facade, which is great. But now you have the ability to make it as one enclosed building, which is also great. So BrickHeadz, really phenomenal design. Really like that one. Moving on from there, the next biggest set is the Outlaw Forest Den by Brickhammer. Again, another really well-known designer in the Bricklink series. This is a 2,617-piece set. Again, 10 minifigs, also retailing for $230. My medieval people out there, this is probably going to be that set, right? It looks really nice. You know, it's not a typical castle. It's more of just that forest hideout, that stone building cut within the woods where you got your what is it? I think it's the coyotes. I can't remember which group that is, but they're all hiding in and amongst there. And it just, again, is a good looking set from all angles. And you can open that up and see on the back, it's got all the playable features in the tower itself, and just overall looks like a really nice set. I think this, if I had to pick, will probably sell out first. That is what I'm going to tell you. I'm putting that out there now. Outlaw Forest Den is going to be your top seller in this series. That's my opinion. All right, then moving on from there, we have the Sequoia Tree Trail by Peace on Earth. This is an interesting set. 3,187 pieces. 10 minifigs, and $270. And looking at that picture, the first thing you'll probably ask is what I asked. Oh my God, like how tall are those trees? Well, that's a good question. This is a 21-inch tall set. So, excuse me, not quite 2 feet, kind of the height of, say, the Lego treehouse, give or take. But it just looks like those trees are massive. And I don't know if that's going to be a selling point or a distraction, because I hope people buy it, because I always think a designer deserves their credit. So Peace on Earth, I think, good job to you. If I have to pick, though, and be honest with you, this is probably the one that, in my opinion, will sell the least. I don't know. I think it's going to be a divisive design. I think some people are just going to really love it, and some people are going to just pass on it. Myself, I think it's cool. I don't really have a good spot to put it at. But, and for over 3,000 pieces, it's a $270 set. So it's definitely something for that much money and that high a piece count. It's really got to blow me away, and I'm not sure that, a couple big trees, sequoias, as a massive and as amazing that they are, is something that's in my wheelhouse. But if you love it, please go get it. And then finally, the biggest set in the group is the Gold Mine Expedition by Brick Project. Now, this is the first Western thing we've had in a couple series, which is cool. 3,382 pieces, $300, but it does include 13 minifigs. And I got to tell you, this set is legit. Like, I'm not a Western guy. Like, I profess I'm not huge into trains or huge into Westerns, but I'm looking at this going, I get why people selected it. It's pretty impressive. You not only have a really good looking gold mine from all angles, like the old wood 1800s building, but you also can take it apart where it's very modular, and you got the inside sequences where you have the mine car coming in on the first floor, and then you've got the upper floors. A lot of good storytelling in this set. Is it $300 good? I think for some people, definitely. I think the Western folks out there, I think are just going to go gaga over this. And I like that, we get a lot of medieval sets, but it has been, like I say, a few series since we've gotten a good Western set. So I think this should satisfy that crew for sure, because it is very solid, very impressive. And again, another set that I think, depending on how your city build is, would look good in portions of your city, so I don't know. I just think that's interesting. And like I say, really good. This is a series where there is not one set that I'm like, ooh, why did that get selected? I'm like, all these are pretty gosh darn good. Are they Adventures in Transylvania good? I don't know if the public is going to think that, but I hope it still sells well, and that people aren't going to pass on this just to wait for Series 7. I think you should definitely keep in mind with those. But those are going to be coming. And hey, speaking of the Bricklink Designer Series, Series 9. Series 9, the palette is coming open. I mean, the palette is open. But design submissions, if you're interested in submitting for Series 9, open up, I believe, next week, and it usually has about a 2-week window. And then in October, we are going to be talking a lot of Bricklink Series 9. In fact, I have people that are going to be on the show. We're going to be talking about their designs, their specific layouts, the design process, the Bricklink design program in general. So if you like the Bricklink Designer Program, make sure you're subscribed, because October is going to be a big month for you. We're not going to talk about things like the Death Star. We are going to talk about what I think is, like I say, Lego's bread and butter right now, and that's the Bricklink Designer Program. I have no complaints with that, and I love programs that promote designers. It's one thing to work for Lego, but it's another thing just to be a regular old dude who can submit a set and then potentially have their life change because of that one submission. It's like Lego lottery, but for people that are talented and that have worked hard and they get their due justice because of it. So really good stuff, like I say. So there you go. That is September 8th. Gotta love it. You tell me what you think about the Death Star. I'd love to hear it. You let me know what you think about the Minerals collection. Are you as excited as I am? Or are you like Steve? Are you kidding me right now? Hard pass. And then let me know about Lego ideas and the Bricklink Designer Program. Just so much going on per the norm. I just really appreciate it. And I just appreciate y'all. Again, thank you. If you are tuning in, I've been trying to do some different things lately. And so if you continually tune in, I just appreciate you listening. It means the world to me for sure. So until Wednesday, y'all, because I put out episodes every Monday and Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm coming at you with a fun and unique topic. So I hope you stay tuned. But until Wednesday, we come talk about that topic. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one, y'all. Bye-bye.